Hey guys, what's up? Todd Lamb here, alphanation.com, and today's focus is the posterior chain, and I'm putting this together for all the guys that are in the jobs that I once either did as a volunteer or did as a full-time profession, and that's my firefighting friends, my military friends, guys that are still on the job policing, whether you're in tactical or either on patrol, doesn't matter. Guys that are doing EMT stuff. Even this applies to you guys. We're talking basically here about tactical athletes, and those are people whose jobs, whose trades require a high level of physical fitness, a high level of mobility, and a degree of strength. And not only that, they can't really train to a specific event. So they're not periodizing their training schedule, building to go out on a call, 9 months from now. They are either ready or they're not. And that's called undulating periodization, or nonlinear. You have to be ready to go, all systems firing all the time. So the problem that we're finding with that is your schedule, shift work, firefighters, police, EMTs in particular, guys that are deployed. When you're in garrison, sometimes it's not so bad, but those kinds of schedules make it really difficult to train. They wreak havoc on your hormonal systems because of the different sleep periods. Again, sleep probably your number one primary factor for weight loss, for building muscle. And then all the other demands of just having a regular life. So what I wanted to do today is remind guys that are in these tactical type athletic professions that it is your obligation to remain strong. I don't mean get in the gym and get huge, but you always have to have a certain level of strength so that you are able to react when it comes time. We don't necessarily train for the things that we do every day, but we want to be prepared for the unthinkable, right? That event that doesn't happen, that's low frequency but high risk. You've got to make sure that system is ready to go at a moment's notice. Where it breaks down for a lot of guys is in the posterior chain. There are guys, and this data has been religiously collected by a guy named Matt Wenman. He's given presentation after presentation after presentation at the NSCA, the TSAC conferences that I've attended. The data he has across 600 infantrymen. He was with a Ranger battalion as well, and I think he does some work with firefighters now in Washington, and he'll go do an assessment. First thing you do is walk into the gym, and they've got a lat pull down machine and 25-pound dumbbells, and you should hear him talk about that. Really entertaining stuff. So I'm just building on some of the stuff that he has already put out there, but I want to remind guys, because I've got the opportunity, I have the platform, that your posterior chain, that strength through your low back, your glutes, your hamstrings is critical. And a way to build that is through a move called, or a lift called, the Sumo Deadlift. Oftentimes there's still physical requirements. I know for a fact that when I switched from a more cardio-based physical testing scenario or scheme to a more strength-based, I had guys getting injured. 2 reasons. We didn't have a program, or even no different than firearms is discipline, rappelling is a discipline, sniping is a discipline. We had nobody trained in strength and conditioning, and we probably could have gone to the private sector for that, but it was super expensive. So one of the priorities I did as a TL was got guys trained so that we could reduce injuries, increase uptime, because a team our size, and a lot of guys out there across Canada and the US, they can't afford to have downtime. That goes back to building strength. You must be able to pull, whether it's you're pulling conventional, regular deadlift, or a sumo deadlift. You have to build strength in your posterior chain. Sumo deadlift is one of the best ways to do that. That's because it is a relatively easy move to learn and execute, but not only that, it fires the weakest part in that posterior chain for a lot of guys in our profession, and that is their glutes. Consequently, what happens when your glutes don't fire, you start to unload on your low back, and that's where you see all those problems. I, for one, when I wasn't training properly, had, I've mentioned this before, L5, S1 issues, so I had to rebuild my trunk. Once I was able to build trunk stiffness, get proper trunk stiffness through my abs program, then I went into building strength. So what I'm going to do here today is give you a quick tutorial on how to properly do a sumo deadlift so that you can build that posterior chain, get strong, stay healthy, enjoy your career, but more importantly, enjoy your retirement. Come on over to the cage. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do here is just demonstrate how to pull sumo rather than conventional. I'll show you a front profile, then I'll show you the side profile. If your physical testing is worth its salt, you should be deadlifting at least 2 times body weight, probably more appropriately 2.5 times body weight. There is a ton of data to support a reduction in workers' compensation claims as a result of being able to meet that goal. So you want to argue with data, go ahead, but it's out there, it supports that science. Okay, so when we're coming into the bar, I've just got a relatively light weight on here for the purposes of the demonstration. All you're gonna come in, be about shoulder width apart initially, and then you're gonna sit in, point the toes, and you're gonna bring the bar right to your shins, okay? A lot of bars have knurls in them, so in terms of positioning your shins, probably at that first knurl or mark in the bar is adequate width apart, and then you're just gonna let your hands fall naturally, and that's where you're gonna pull from, okay? Regular pronated grip, you're just gonna, again, you're not forcing it in here, just where you sit naturally, and then you're gonna bring the bar in. If you want to use shin sleeves, go ahead. I've got about a $900 tattoo on my shin here. I've probably ripped 600 bucks worth of it off doing deadlifts. It's terrible. Anyways, so once you're in position, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to sit. Once you sit, you notice your shins come nice and parallel. You've got a good grip. You can go hook grip if you want. You don't really need to at this light of a weight, but that's completely up to you. And as you begin the first pull, you're gonna sit down. That's gonna force the chest up. Your head is up. You can do a head down one when you've got a lot more lifting behind you. But for now, heads up, looking up, you're sitting, and you lead with the chest. And you're gonna squeeze those glutes. Listen. Here's a good way to know if you're doing it right. If you've got $40 shorts on, at least 35 bucks worth better be squeezed between your butt cheeks, okay? Again, into the shins, feet pointed out slightly, let the hands drop naturally. First move is gonna sit, chest comes up, your head's up, you're gonna squeeze and drive, squeezing those glutes. And then down, follow that shin line. From the side, make sure you guys can see it. You come out. Let your arms naturally fall. As you sit, you're gonna put tension, complete tension in your system. By that, I mean you're bracing through the trunk, your lats are locked in. When you lock those lats in, that suddenly brings your chest up, head comes up, squeeze. You're not driving, you're just bringing the glutes through as you squeeze them. Back down, up, back down. Okay guys, If you want to significantly improve the strength in your posterior chain, increase your deadlift. Even if you're pulling conventional, you want to increase your deadlift, sumo deads. To all my tactical athlete friends out there, get that back in shape, get those glutes in shape, hammies, so you're ready for the job and you can enjoy your retirement. That's it, guys. See you in the next one.